So I notice sometimes things happen in my life that will just rub me the wrong way and really gets me angry, and it's something that I've noticed, but I want to be able to habituate the process and really control my anger, and I want to know ways that I can manage that anger, that frustration that comes up from time to time in my life that sometimes I feel like is out of my control, and also if that's even a bad thing in the first place, and if I should look at that as a negative.
That is a very good question. You know, in my adventures and moving through my own awakening process and moving through the spiritual path, I went through a phase where everything was supposed to be positive. This was me, where I felt anger, or if I felt grief or loss or jealousy or worry, all of those, quote, negative emotions, I thought I was off the path. Only to realize that we were giving these emotional tools to navigate us through, that those are really signposts to talk to us. You know, we weren't meant to sit in front of that signpost. We were meant to look at it, read it, and then keep going down that path. So what I've shared with a lot of my students is there's such a thing as healthy anger. You know, when you're in a relationship, there's going to be a good chance that you're going to have conflict. You're going to have a different of opinion. You're not going to always agree to the proper course of action in that relationship. You ever have that one? I have. Now, there's such a thing, though, as a healthy argument, a healthy piece of emotion that you could look at that. And I'll share with you a quick story. My son, Derek, when he was about 2 years old, I remember watching him playing with these blocks on the living room floor. And I was in the kitchen doing some stuff, and he had the hardest time navigating these blocks to come up to a certain level. And finally, after about the third or fourth attempt, the blocks fell down, and he burst into this angry state. Now, at first, I thought, well, that's going to be unhealthy. He can't go through life that way. And I was judging him for that moment in time. But because he is my son and he grew up with a lot of my teachings, I saw him tread up. He turned around and started walking to the stairs up to his bedroom. And so rather than stop the flow of his energy that we call anger, I asked him a question. I said, Derek, what are you doing? Where are you going? He turned around at 2 years old and said, I'm going to my bedroom. I need a moment alone. Now, I thought that was cool. A 2-year-old saying he knew that it was not appropriate, it was unhealthy to express that anger because we had 5 other kids in the house and a big family, to do that around them. So he decided to go to his own private space where he could emote, and our children had permission to express in an appropriate way. So he went up to his bedroom, closed the door. I heard all kinds of noise up there, a lot of venting out. And then I say about 2.5 to 3 minutes of that, door opens up. The same 2-year-old comes walking down, and he's like just happy-go-lucky. And I said, Derek, how you doing? You still angry? He goes, no, that was no big deal. And he went on to something else. Now, I thought that was a great metaphor. I learned a lot that day. 3 to 5 minutes, and that's what I pretty much teach. Anger, loss, all of that stuff in the world that gets activated largely by the blocks in our lives that don't cooperate with our intentions are going to happen. You can't change that. How you feel about it internally is appropriate. It's appropriate to be sad when you see somebody on the street who's in need. It's appropriate to feel grief when you lose a loved one. That is appropriate. That's a healthy and natural response to the world around us. What's not appropriate for me is when it lingers past that 3 to 5 minutes, so to speak. And I'm not saying if you lose your mother, your father, or anything like that, you've got a 3 to 5 minute limit. What I'm saying is what you do with that emotion is either healthy or unhealthy. How you express it, how you think about it. Do you take it in as wisdom? Or do you take it in as another bad thing that's happening, and when is the world going to turn out? And I hope that that's more clear. It's not what you do with it, it's how you process it and how you express it in the world. We don't learn less. Every day you wake up, you're going to learn something more. And if you're smart, you'll listen to your kids if you're a parent out there, because Derek taught me a lot that day. So whether it's an unhealthy or a healthy anger, you'll know about how it lingers in the body. And if you want to see how the effect is, look at the people around you, what they reflect back. I hope that helps.